are you? Ugh, I cannot keep these posters up.
I heard that.
I know. And another one fell yesterday. What?
You said, Troy.
I said it with my eyes. I need to just like put all the posters that have fallen down aside and deal with that. Like I bought special tape so that they would stay up and it doesn't work. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What? Oh yeah, I didn't buy that. I just found it. So yeah, I found it at the old building and no one claimed it. So I was like, we'll bring it to school. No, you can't have it. You can play it. I don't know if it was the church people or like a former teacher had left it there or what. If it was a church person's, I just stole it, I guess. But oh well. Oh, we got 3 minutes. I'm trying to finish proofreading this thing for this child. What?
It said that the Kubrick stare, the Kubrick stare is often made in the trailer. I think is the peak of the radio. The peak of the duration.
The what generation?
The Kubrick stare.
Oh.
The Kubrick stare. Like this.
It's so strange.
Have you ever seen movies where they're saying and do this?
I mean, I suppose I have. I never noticed the trend, but yeah. Oh, okay. I think it's only you guys, yeah. We got a few online. Sure, what? I wish I was home too. Unfortunately, this is what we're legally obligated to do. I guess I'm not legally obligated to do it, but you are. What? Are you? Okay. Yeah, tomorrow is Nate's birthday. I gotta remember that. Even though he's not in school, so it's not like I can bake him a cake or anything. Okay, let me let these folks in. Even though it's only 9:08, I mean, they still have like a minute. Ew, my camera is like streaky. Probably because I pick it up from the wrong place all the time. There we go. That's better. Who have we got here? Ian's in person. Corey's virtual. Christian's virtual. Brendan's virtual today. Hayward is not here yet. Troy is here in person. You are real. No one could make you up. Nate is virtual. Chip is virtual. Sterling and Andarius. I'll wait just a minute and see if Hayward shows up. I'm gonna guess not, but we'll see. I'll pick up this poster. I don't know what to do with it. Like clearly I've tried so many things. What? I would never lick it. Because that is unsanitary and you are innocent. What if somebody licked it before they had corona? Good. You want me to get corona? That's it. How rude. You're so mean to me. What have I ever done to you? Just the constant threats and so Troy's so mean to me. He's been threatening my life for 5 years now.
Wow.
We're in the 8th grade. You're a tiny little sociopath.
Threatening her for 5 years now about his greed. Mr. McClellan.
He wanted me to get corona.
Isn't a joke anyway.
You said that I should lick that poster, which is already weird. Oh, here comes Hayward. Yay. You have everybody.
I can't even.
All that computer, you don't even know how to talk to the thing. How you gonna tell her to lick a poster? What?
Right? It's ridiculous. I've never heard such a thing. I'm gonna plug this in so that we can get sound coming through.
This is weird.
See if we can make it work. Huh, okay. Interesting. So is it on a different source now? Sorry, guys. No. I don't understand. What's happening? Okay. What a pain. Oh no, I'm frozen up. Okay, we're good now. And let me just change this little guy. Oh, it should be good. Okay. We've got a few things to do today. The first of which is to finish chapter 1 of Frankenstein. Let me see how much we have left because I really wanted to be on to chapter 2, but that might not be the best idea for today. Okay, yeah, I think we're just gonna finish chapter 1 for today. And then I will introduce this new project to you guys. Okay, so I am going to share my screen with y'all in just a second, but just wanted to kind of recap the part of chapter 1 that we read yesterday. We're getting some of Victor Frankenstein's background at this point, and he tells us about his dad, who was really good friends with this one man, and the man was really nice, but he was very poor and like down in his luck. And then that guy died, and you were here for this yesterday. You just weren't listening. And the guy died, and he had a daughter who was like really devoted to him and everything. And Victor's dad married that woman whose name is Caroline. Yes, there's a huge age difference there, but you know, you got to find people how you can, I guess. So that's kind of the story of how his parents met. I'm seeing where we left off. They traveled a lot together. His mother is sort of like sort of frail. And if you are following along, we are going to be at the top of page 20 on the page. It's page 25 of the PDF. That's sort of confusing, I suppose. All right, let me share my screen. Actually, first, let me close the door because I can hear Mr. Nelson from here. Okie doke. Sharing my screen. And we're just going to finish this chapter. Anyone want to read today?
I can.
Okay.
Where are we? From Italy?
Yeah, from Italy.
From Italy, they visited Germany and France. I, their eldest child, was born in Naples, and as an infant accompanied them in their rambles. I remained for several years their only child. Much as they were attached to each other, they seemed to draw inexhaustible stores of affection from a very mine of love to bestow them upon me. My mother's tender caresses, and my father's smile of benevolent pleasure while regarding me as their are my first recollections. I was their plaything and their idol, and something better, their child, the innocent and helpless creature bestowed on them by heaven, whom to bring up to good, and whose future lot it was in their hands to direct to happiness fulfilled their duties towards me. With this deep consciousness of what they owed towards the being to which they had given life, added to the active spirit of tenderness that animated both. It may be imagined that while during every hour of my infant life I received a lesson of patience, of charity, and of self-control, I was so guided by a silken cord that all seemed but one train of enjoyment to me. For a long time I was their only care. My mother had much desired to have a daughter, but I continued their single offspring. When I was about 5 years old, while making an excursion beyond the frontiers of Italy, they passed a week on the shores of the Lake of Como. Their benevolent disposition often made them enter the cottages of the poor. This to my mother was more than a duty, it was a necessity, a passion. Remembering what she had suffered and how she had been relieved, for her to act in her turn the guardian angel to the afflicted. During one of their walks to a poor cot in the foldings of a veil attracted their notice as being singularly disconsolate, while the number of half-clothed children gathered about it spoke of pen-
Penury.
penury
It's like just destitution.
in its worst shape. One day, when my father had gone by himself to Milan, my mother, accompanied by me, visited this abode. She found a peasant and his wife hard working, bent down by care and labor, distributing a scanty meal to 500 babes. Among these there was one which attracted my mother far above all the rest. She appeared of a different stock. The four others were dark-eyed, hardy little vagrants. This child was thin and very fair. Her hair was the brightest living gold, and despite the poverty of her clothing, seemed to set a crown of distinction on her head. Her brow was clear and ample, her blue eyes cloudless, and her lips and the molding of her face so expressive of sensibility and sweetness, that none could behold her without looking on her as of a distinct species, a being heaven sent, and bearing a celestial stamp in all her features. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, let's just read this next one.
The peasant woman, perceiving that my mother fixed eyes of wondering admiration on this lovely girl, eagerly communicated her history. She was not her child, but the daughter of a Milanese nobleman. Her mother was a German and had died on giving her birth. The infant had been placed with these good people to nurse. They were better off then. They had not been married long, and their eldest child was but just born. The father of their charge was one of those Italians nursed in the memory of the antique glory of Italy. One among the
I don't know.
whatever Frumenti, who exerted himself to obtain the liberty of his country. He became the victim of weakness. Whether he had died or still lingered in the dungeons of Austria was not known. His property was confiscated. His child became an orphan and a beggar. She continued with her foster parents and bloomed in their rude abode, fairer than a garden rose among dark-leaved brambles.
All right, so this person who doesn't have a name yet is going to become a very important character. This like little orphan girl who Victor's mom has kind of taken a liking to. She's just part of this like very, very impoverished family, and she just seems to stick out. Like she just seems to Vionor, maybe yeah, that seems right. Sure, that seems right. I don't know what it means, but that sounds like the right pronunciation. This little girl just seems to stand out. Like she's just beautiful to look at, and she's just got like some kind of magnetic quality that makes Victor's mom's heart really go out to her. I could call her Caroline instead of Victor's mom. That might be more clear. And so like they say that she was the daughter of like a nobleman who fell on hard luck more or less, and that's why she has to be in like foster care essentially, with this really, really poor family. So she's just had, this is a very young girl, but she's had a very difficult time so far. But we're about to see why she is going to be important. Do you want to continue, Eli? Want somebody else to read?
Please let someone else do it.
All right, anybody else?
That was a lot.
It was a lot. All right, I'll do it. When my father returned from Milan, he found me playing in the hall of our villa. Oh, he found playing with me in the hall of our villa a child fairer than pictured cherub. I'm going to stop for just 1 second. I feel like this is one of the reasons that this book is kind of hard to read, because the syntax is just kind of weird. Like they'll sort of reverse things from the way that we're used to saying them. Like where this says, he found playing with me in the hall of our villa a child. I feel like normally we would say, he found a child playing with me. But it's just so weird. So it's kind of like your brain constantly is having to like redirect and make these new connections. It's just a little bit more complicated, but that's how they used to do it. He found playing with me in the hall of our villa a child fairer than pictured cherub, a creature who seemed to shed radiance from her looks and whose form and motions were lighter than the chamois of the hills. I don't know what chamois is either. I only speak English. The apparition was soon explained. With his permission, my mother prevailed on her rustic guardians to yield their charge to her. They were fond of the sweet orphan. Her presence had seemed a blessing to them, but it would be unfair to her to keep her in poverty and want when Providence afforded her such powerful protection. They consulted their village priest, and the result was that Elizabeth Lavenza became the inmate of my parents' house, my more than sister, the beautiful and adored companion of all my occupations and my pleasures. This is why she's going to become really important, or at least one reason she's going to become really important. Their family adopts her, even though her like foster family or whatever loves her. They kind of recognize that the Frankensteins can give her a much better life than they can, so they let them have her, and kind of I like that he calls her his more than sister. Like she's the most important person in his life, more than just family. They're so connected. And so they kind of grow up together. Everyone loved Elizabeth. The passionate and almost reverential attachment with which all regarded her became, while I shared it, my pride and my delight. On the evening previous to her being brought to my home, my mother had said playfully, I have a pretty present for my Victor. Tomorrow he shall have it. And when, on the morrow, she presented Elizabeth to me as her promised gift, I, with childish seriousness, interpreted her words literally and looked upon Elizabeth as mine to protect, love, and cherish. All praises bestowed on her I received as made to a possession of my own. We called each other familiarly by the name of cousin. No word, no expression could body forth the kind of relation in which she stood to me, my more than sister, since till death she was to be mine only. And this is another thing where we kind of have to like look at how they used to talk and like the phrases that they used to use. Yes, this is his adopted sister. Because they're not actually related, they call each other cousin. But at the end, he says, "Till death, she was to be mine only." And I mean, his parents have kind of said, like, this is your present. Like, she is your present. Essentially meaning, and like, don't think too hard about this, or like, don't get freaked out, because we know that things used to be different than they are now. But while she is his adopted sister now, they intend for him to marry her when they're both old enough. That's a little bit weird for us, but they're not related. They, I don't think any of you have had, I don't know if any of you have had like an adopted sibling or not, but it feels like in the 21st century, it'd be very weird to know that you're going to marry that person. But back then, not so weird. So that's where we're gonna leave off today. I'm glad that we got into the Elizabeth stuff, because obviously she is very important. Somebody who's like everything to this character, to our main character. That's really, obviously she's going to play a big role, particularly since like we're going to see him grow up. Right now, like the narration is telling about his childhood. It's going to quickly move on to adulthood, and she'll become a bigger part of things and kind of inspire him in a lot of ways. I guess that's the right way to say it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys our new project that we're going to do, which I don't think I actually published yet. English 4. Hang on, stop sharing for just a second. Here we go. Okay, I've just published this. And I feel like this is going to be fairly simple for you guys, because you will have all probably done something similar to this before. I'm sorry, I have like a hair somewhere. I'm like, is it behind my mask? Is it? I don't know. Feels like I have a spider web on my face. This book takes place over several different settings. There's a lot of travel involved. And we want to explore some of that. We already know that he is from Geneva. But we're gonna go ahead and kind of set the scene for the other places that we're gonna encounter, because in a lot of ways, setting is really important to this book. So you're each going to be assigned one of the settings. Some of the settings have more than one person assigned to it. So what I want you to do is kind of imagine that you're a travel agent trying to convince people that they should visit this place. Oh, I wish I had looked ahead of time to find some old examples. Maybe I can still find some. But you're going to create a travel brochure that shows off the location. You can kind of Google examples of what a travel brochure should look like. And actually, once I get you guys started on this, I might see if I can find some of our past examples that kids have done in the last however many years I've been teaching this class. So if you're an in-person person, you can just draw yours and make it like 3-fold paper. I would probably recommend creating one on like Google Slides or another app. But it should show what the location physically looks like and detail several attractions of the place, like what would inspire somebody to want to come there. If there are places specifically mentioned in the book, you can make mention of those, like, oh, this is the place where famed scientist Victor Frankenstein went to college, that kind of thing. And another important facet of this project is that it should be visually appealing. You can use pictures, like you can illustrate yourself, or you can find pictures of the place and different like attractions and things that are in that place on Google and put them in your project. But you should make the text neat and visually appealing. We all know what a travel brochure looks like, probably, so we know that it's not supposed to be just like crap on a page. Okay, so I went ahead and assigned everybody to their locations, because I wanted to make sure that every location had at least one person doing it. Some of you have more than, some of you don't have more than one. Some locations have more than one person doing it. And if you are somebody who there's someone else working on the same place, y'all can consult together. You still have to turn in 2 separate projects, but I definitely encourage. Yeah.
So does it need to be travel brochure shaped? Like, does it need to be the three?
It does not have to be. I feel like it works really well to be that way just because there's like specific demarcations that you can kind of be like, okay, this is going to be about attractions. This is going to be about the landscape. And that
Right.
kind of,
Okay. Well,
but it does
could we
not
do
have-
like one slide for each?
yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
You could do that. So both of you folks are doing the North Pole. Corey and Sterling will do Mont Blanc, which is also a type of pen, but that's not what we're talking about. Christian and Nate will do the Alps. Brendan and Eli will do Geneva. Hey, what? You are doing the North Pole. You never listen to me. Hayward and Andarius are doing the Orkney Isles, and Chip, you're all on your lonesome. You're doing Ingolstadt, which is the most fun one to say. So
My Zoom is like broken right now. I can't get out of the full screen.
oh, how weird.
That was why I left for a minute, was because I got stuck like this. But my mic was off, so I just had to like close my computer.
Oh,
Like I'm clicking the leave meeting button. Nothing.
it's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Troy, let me write you a pass now that we're I just totally forgot that passes were a thing yesterday.
Chip,
I'm not
Yeah.
used to having kids
for
in.
your slides, I mean, this is not just for you, but like, I mean, I recommend for everyone using the section title and description a layout because that's the most brochure-like layout. It
Mhm.
works really well.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for that.
What's that?
What?
Someone hitting. What's that?
What is?
Someone hitting.
Someone hitting a woman is sad and
Yeah.
upsetting. Yeah.
I'll probably beat you up. I just saw someone.
Okay, I am not going to point out that you've definitely threatened to beat me up before, but
Someone's like, ugh.
oh, you've been
Okay,
thinking about
well,
that a lot, Troy.
I'm gonna just close my computer again and see if it fixes itself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not, yes, you can go. You guys can start looking up info on your location. I'm actually gonna look around my computer and see if I can find any examples from last year that would be helpful to you guys. Yep, here comes Chip.
Okay.
Oh wow. I found I don't even remember doing this. I found a travel brochure for The Giver by Carlton Smith, which I'm like, what grade was he even in when we would have, I don't know, like I guess ninth grade. Like The Giver is too elementary for ninth grade, but what do I know? I'm just a teacher. No. Oh shoot, I think I might have one.
The only thing that I can think of that might be making my Zoom be weird is I know when you make your screen full screen, it also full screens my screen.
Oh, like when I share my screen?
Yeah, which is really annoying, by the way, especially in classes like Stover's where he keeps like full screen, not full screen, full screen, not full screen, and I'm trying to like, write a math problem.
Yeah,
Can't stand it.
that is annoying.
But it's
I
never,
think it automatically does that so that, ideally
I pay
everybody can
attention.
be engaged in the same thing, but it's not practical because sometimes the teacher is wanting you to see what's on their screen, but also you can be doing something else.
Right, exactly.
A little frustrating. Okay, that's Ingolstadt. What about Orkney Isles? No. I don't remember a North Pole one. Actually, let me check out my Google Drive. Yeah, here we go. I'm seeing some stuff. Mm, I don't think that's Frankenstein related. I think that's just an example. Okay, okay, piece of garbage. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys again for just a minute. So I apologize
Let's see
for
if it
going.
breaks my Zoom. Let's see if it breaks my Zoom.
We'll see. Okay,
No.
so this is one I found, and I don't know why it's so like weird and small. And I don't actually even know who did this one. If I had to guess, maybe Molly O'Connor. She's very good at stuff like this. But this is a good example. They've got like the 3 sections that are traditional for a travel brochure, and it looks like she's sort of figured it out to where like if you printed this out and folded it, it would actually work, and like this could be the front. So
Wouldn't
just
you need 6 sides though?
good question.
Because
Yeah,
you would
guess you're
open it.
I guess you're right. I've literally never thought about that. I don't have spatial awareness. But she's got this like kind of overview of Ingolstadt. When you visit, here's where you should go, and there's some like attractions and stuff, and then some stuff about Frankenstein. So that's really cool, and it looks really pretty. That's a good example. Since these kids have already graduated, this is not a big deal to show you this stuff. You go away. Jay would have done this one for Geneva, and he kind of did what you guys were talking about, like individual slides. I think every other one is like a nice picture from that place. There's some attractions. That's cool. Well, okay, that one looks not great. It's not amazing, but
I really like the Comic Sans.
I know. It's not pleasing to the eye.
Thank you.
And so small block facts, what does it look like? It's really pretty. Why visit? So there's some examples. Also, since you mentioned Comic Sans, I learned a cool thing this week. I was asking, I can stop sharing my screen. I was asking people, I did like a poll on Instagram to ask people which one is the supreme font, Times New Roman 11 or Arial, Times New Roman 12 or Arial 11.
Right.
And most people that I know voted for Times New Roman, but my friend who is like in graphic design said that for print mediums, Times New Roman is the better font because the serif kind of guides your eye from one letter to the next, but that doesn't work on digital formats because the eye or the brain perceives the extra bit, like the serif, as more mechanical weight, so it actually slows down your reading. That's why like Google Docs and stuff, the default is Arial now. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Arial looks really, really smooth on Google. And Times New Roman looks amazing in like a Bible.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If I have to like print an essay, I would probably put it in Times New Roman. But if I'm just sending one, yeah, why not do Arial? It is very smooth, very like clean lined.
Right.
All right, we got about 20 minutes left, so I'm gonna kind of leave you guys to start doing some research and stuff on your own. We will also, so this is gonna be due on Monday. I'm also gonna devote pretty much all day on Friday to letting you guys work on this, just so you can kind of plan ahead for.
And we'll work on it Wednesday as well, I imagine.
I think so. I'm kind of changing ideas and plans, but I'll probably let y'all work on that tomorrow. Yeah.
Because yeah, Wednesday's supposed to be like the do work day.
Yeah. And I had one plan, and then I was like, no, I don't like that plan. I might do this instead. But now I'm like, I don't know. So we'll see tomorrow.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my stuff and mute myself, but just holler at me if y'all need me.
Alrighty. Otherwise, are we free to go?
Yes, you can work on this independently if you want.
All right. See you later.
See ya. I guess I don't really need to keep. Oh, those good life men are gonna get mad at me.